So let's take a look at this. Cossack is actually a destroyer I loathe. I never really liked it, and I don't like it because, to me, I never really jived with it. That being said, I've seen a lot of people do extremely well with it. It's a very good cat bully. It's a very good anti-destroyer. It's got hydro. It's got decent guns. It's got torpedoes that were buffed and reload pretty quickly. I think it's like a minute for each torpedo spread. It's only one launcher though, but yeah, she's got a lot going for it.
So now I have to ask, what's not to like?
Just slow.
Yeah.
Slow, yeah. True.
For one, I always found that the hydro, because it's a British hydro, so it's like a self-defense hydro, right?
Yep.
I always found this getting myself killed because I might charge with hydroactive. I found that the main battery guns, they're decent, but at the same time, I found them lacking in like a 1v1 against an enemy destroyer. To where I wish I would have just had an Akizuki, for example, at tier 8, which I could just hold down.
Yeah, but that's what the short burst smoke is for, just hit and run.
Yes,
like
exactly.
You have 8 guns, but the reload isn't as good as you would get, for example, on the Lightning.
Right.
So the overall DPM is not as good as you might think it is.
Yep.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I think the gun firing angles aren't the best. No, they're... The gun firing angles on the last turret is not great, and the same on the first turret firing backwards.
Yeah, the torpedo angles aren't great either.
And the torpedo angles are horrible.
Yeah. And I think that's one of my problems with this ship, as you guys can see right there. It's just challenging to try to find a place where I can torpedo with. So you have to think of this as a gunboat first, and then you'll luck chuck torpedoes whenever you have the opportunity to do so. So, sorry, go ahead.
I was to say, also not the best hit points.
True.
It's not bad, but not great either.
Honestly, would rather just play an Archon at this point.
Okay.
Although I do
because I got
my
the radar.
Cossack.
Well, I hate the Archon because of the AA. I just hate it.
Okay.
I mean, you're not really
I actually like.
Well, I mean, not much in the Cossack either, but
if you want to bully, just play a Lo Yang.
True.
I do play Lo Yang, and I like it, but
Lo Yang is one of my favorites.
Personally, I also really like the Oland, so I
Right.
do very well in the Cossack, but I do not enjoy playing it.
Well,
I enjoy playing it. I like the Oland as well, but not the Orkan.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get to your build either way and get to the replay. So we've got main armaments, engine room, aiming systems, steering gears, and concealment. Now, what is your rudder shift time? 2.88 seconds. Why are you running... Never mind, I answered that question myself because you can't get the propulsion. Because it's a British destroyer, so therefore you have that enhanced acceleration built in for whatever reason. Okay.
You might actually...
Go depth charges?
Considering it's British, yeah, you could consider the depth charges, to be honest.
That's a good idea, because I haven't considered that since they've added subs.
It's a bit of a mixed bag, because you don't get 2 bombs more per charge. You actually get like 4 whole charges instead of 2. So unless you're actually using them one by one immediately after each other, you probably don't need 4. But it could come in nicely in certain situations.
Yeah.
I don't see a situation, though. Cossack depth charges deal 5k damage. It's the highest of any destroyer. You drop 8 of them, too.
Yeah,
so if
you
why
can
not
just,
have more?
like... Yeah, you could just use them like... You think, maybe the sub is close, I just drop a charge, and then you spot the submarine 2 kilometers in another direction, and you run it down, and you still have 2 full sets of charges available to use it at.
Or
you're also...
Or mines. Mines hit the game.
Clearing
this gives
mines,
you the ability to clear out more mines.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, like, yo, mines are coming into the game, it's at least going to enable you to, like, okay, you have
Mhm.
submarines, occasionally you might be able to do something about those, but now the option of, hey, there's a minefield here that other bigger ships really can't go into, so it's
Right.
like you have more opportunity to use your depth charges for the purpose.
Right.
It's
And
not that you need
destroyers,
to, like,
destroyers, I love saying this too, but I hate saying it, despite the fact that cruisers and battleships will have these ASW planes, they don't really do too much to the mines themselves. It's good little chunks of experience
Yeah.
here and there, but it's not really, you can't really clear out the minefields. I've only really seen destroyers and the occasional odd light or heavy cruiser go in with their
Right.
like ship launched mines and clear them out.
Well, because they have to spot the mines first.
Yeah.
It's not great, don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, the rudder shift is really good already, though increasing that further with the rudder shift also doesn't do you a whole lot.
No,
Yeah, but
3.6
like-
versus 2.88. Right.
It's still considered better than the alternatives. Like, mines that still have not hit the live server.
Mhm.
Well, it's not in their final state, so I would hold my breath before investing into ASW for that reason.
And that's
Yeah.
fair.
That's fair,
All right.
yeah.
Let's move
In
on then.
regards,
Is there a special captain that you're using for this one? Do you know?
I don't remember on this one.
Dunkirk is the only one that gives you enhanced consumables enhancements. Otherwise, obviously Cunningham, if you get 2 kills, you get an extra consumable, which is kind of sexy. So let's assume you're just using a standard for now.
I think I am. I think it's just a standard captain.
Okay. So preventative maintenance, consumables enhancements, demolition expert, superintendent, concealment, incoming fire alert, last stand, adrenaline rush, and then finally survivability. And this order might be different because obviously you'd want to go, these 3 and consume it first. But in any case, demolition expert. You want to spend
not-
2 points for 1 more % chance of HE shells causing fire?
The Cossack is
Fair.
actually one of the DDs I would take it.
I'm
But
not strong. I don't
definitely
strongly
drop-
recommend it.
It would be my last skill for sure, but I would drop the superintendent. What's it for?
It's if you're using it for the daring, then you want the 3rd heal on the daring.
If it's daring, but if it's a daring commander, you don't take demo expert. You'd rather take probably like you really want
Okay.
to have a gun, the reload instead.
You would want the reload, or you take the extra heavy AP.
Yeah.
So, okay. A lot we're talking about here. One is let's focus on demolition for a second. You guys seriously think that the extra 1% is worth the 2 commander skills versus the flags?
I would
Not
take
really.
I would obviously take the flex and the skill. The question is, what else do you take instead of the demo expert?
I would go heavy AP.
On a Cossack,
Cossack,
it doesn't have
Cossack
improved
doesn't get
AP
it.
shells.
Yeah. The reason I bring up extra heavy AP is mainly if its main captain is on the daring. Daring
Okay.
would definitely take it.
And why not Cossack?
It has no
Cossack,
improved ricochet angles. It's standard AP.
yeah, you don't get it until Jutland.
Okay.
So if
So-
anything, you drop even more and take the radio location, but that forces you to take off the consumable enhancements as well.
That's fine.
Okay.
So
I
what
could
I
see
would
going
do
right.
now, one of the things that I would do now is I'd give up incoming fire alert for one thing.
Yeah.
Like if it's my build, like I would drop the consumable enhancement and the incoming fire alert too, and take the BF like the main battery specialist instead.
And that still gives you
3
1
points,
point
yeah.
for what? Turret traverse?
And then you have 1 point left. Oh yeah, right. There's 1 point left. Yeah. Either you take the incoming fire alert back, or you take the grease the gears.
You could do that. Hey, Kakum. So radio location obviously helps for you to know where enemy destroyers are, chase them down, whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
RPF is always a solid option here.
Because I really just don't think you need the superintendent on this ship if it's specifically a build for the Cossack.
No,
If you-
probably not. I don't remember how I started out on this, but
And
Okay.
if you don't like the radio location, then you can go back and pick up like the demo expert and the consumable specialist again.
Okay. All right. Let's move on from here then. This is something maybe again we talked about the Leningrad, something to try. This is something else you can try. For signals, you are signal poor at this point. You're not running protection. You've got shift speed, fire chance, and ship consumables, and that's it. Fine. Okay. Let's
Would
yes,
are you
SCT?
not able to buy the Juliet Charlie flags, the detonation
I
flag?
don't know why. I don't know why I don't have that because I specifically make sure I have that on every destroyer, and I'm not sure why this time I didn't.
Again, you can also like take the magazine mod. Like, I don't think you have problems with losing torpedo tubes. Never noticed that when I played Cossack.
Yeah,
So
that's just a
If you want to
mistake
save the
here.
signals,
This
Okay.
one's either just an oversight or something.
Okay. It's fine. So let's get into the game. And let's Thank you. And let's see what we can see. It's not fair that subs are guaranteed to detect the 2 kilometer with hydro. I mean, sorry. I'm not a developer for the game, and so I can't really say much else than that, you know?
Most we can do is just send the feedback over to the devs.
it's a
WTF
balancing
devs.
decision.
This is a down tier game, so this is really good for you.
Yeah, so he's top tier against a whole bunch of tier 6s, 7s. I mean, should be fun, right?
Should
No
be.
problem,
Uh,
JP.
Actually, I have a quick question for you. Go take a look at the lineup and tell me what you think your biggest threats are.
I mean, look, I'm on my phone for visibility purposes. So
Uh-oh.
give me a moment here. Let's see. My biggest threat's the kid, I think.
Mm-hmm. There's also one other, Kid and 2 other ships.
Classic, I just took a
I would
screenshot.
say-
You can look at it that way on the Discord.
I'd say
Okay.
3.
All right. So, kid. Farragut depending, but I'm typically not too worried about him at tier 6. Indianapolis, Edinburgh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Those,
So,
yeah.
I agree,
Edinburgh in
yeah.
particular.
Okay.
What about the destroyer the kid is divisioned with?
The
Aha.
split?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I haven't played in 6 months until this last week or two, so I'm not too familiar with those ships.
So 10-second radar.
Mhm.
And it has Lafanta guns.
Okay, yep, that would be a problem.
And division with the kid, so
I think that's the
those
bigger
who
issue.
tag team you, that's the biggest threat here. Like the
Okay.
kid alone isn't even that big of a problem because you outspot it. But the fact that it's division with the split, which can stealth radar you,
Right. So, and you know, as Frontier we've discovered with you know the radar, 10 seconds isn't really enough to do a ton of catastrophic damage to you, but it's enough to get you maybe to stupidly open fire, be detected, and then his kid buddy just nails you to the ground. So I do agree that A division is a threat. I think the Indianapolis is definitely a big threat. Edinburgh, hey, if he's running radar, it's a threat, but if he's running smoke, like many do in randoms, I wouldn't worry about him too much.
I'd still respect his guns, though.
Absolutely
Oh, yeah.
respect his guns, yes. Now, you saw the Farragut, you dipped out of the cap for a moment, fine, whatever. Ironically enough, I think that's what prevented you from taking Farragut torpedoes, so that worked out. And the Farragut ran away, so there you go.
I think he had Hydro up, so you could have dodged as soon as you saw his torpedoes up. He just fell out the cap and didn't cap it 60 seconds earlier.
Well, sure, but if he was in a destroyer that didn't have Hydro, I mean, the result would have been the same. He would have dodged the torpedoes, right?
Drifting out of the cap was just a mistake.
Why are you popping your speed boost always so early?
As I like to.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Because I got 4 in this.
C is,
basically, we're trying to say, try to have a speed boost when you're engaging in combat. The extra speed helps a bit in dodging.
Yes.
Like,
and Farragut's
using
back.
it early on, trying to get in the cap quicker, unless you're in a super fast destroyer that gets there so quick that you can actually cap it before an enemy destroyer even has the chance to get there. It's not worth it.
I mean, I could
Like,
see
the
the
enemy
argument.
destroyer is either not playing for the cap at all and you get it for free anyway, or they're playing for the cap, in which case you getting there a bit earlier doesn't really help you.
As a top tier destroyer, I could see the argument of Classic just going in with the engine boost. But otherwise, I would agree. You really do want to have that consumable available if you need it to get you out of trouble, not into trouble.
Or get so deep into trouble you give us a death pick. That's perfectly acceptable too.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Death picks are great.
I'd actually slow down here, use that island, and farm the Bismarck for free PR.
Yeah, you're about to... There it is. Actually, the problem is that if he... Even slowing down, he comes out across this channel, so I think he still gets spotted anyways. He does, however, have 6 smokes, so he can easily smoke himself. Although,
Yeah.
I would wait until you know that they're looking at you. And it turns out he's looking at you now anyway, so... Good job.
Yep, focus on Bismarck. He is the easiest target to farm PR from.
Going to Bayern instead is fine if Bismarck is on 2 fires. Looks like Bismarck actually DCP'd.
Yeah, Bayern's a bit ambitious at that range. Like, your shots are so slow it'll barely hit him.
But they actually did.
Well, doesn't do any damage because it didn't hit the superstructure.
Yeah, I could have started the fire. You got the extra fire chance, right?
Yeah, for what it does.
For what it does.
Sarcasm.
Nothing!
It's
You
speed
don't
boost,
think
speed boost.
You know any way to change the UI scale? No, because they reworked the way that they did all that stuff, didn't they? Oh, look, there's the kid and Split, like, literally on top of each other, so that's cute.
Yeah, that's the combo I was worried about.
I would not open up here.
I wanted
No.
to kill that split.
I get it, but look at the attention you're attracting now.
Yeah, you just got pinged. The sub hates you. What do you have? Remember, you have a Hydro.
Yeah. Problem is now you're in smoke. Of course, the split we just discussed has that radar capability. You got pinged. You haven't
Just
DCP'd
used it.
yet.
Торпеды справа по борту.
Okay, there's the
Yeah,
DCP.
I think he got overwhelmed there, so
Торпеды
you
по
probably
правому
just didn't
борту.
pop Hydra.
Неполадки устранены. Двигатель в
Yeah.
фиксированном
Honest-
режиме.
I mean, he didn't need to pop Hydra right away, right?
I'd do it just because once you're pinged, you don't know where the torpedoes are. So you may as well pop it,
Okay.
especially since it's a 3-minute one.
So what you're
Yeah,
saying is,
normally what I do is I'll give it 5 or 10 seconds, depending on the distance the sub is away, and then pop it. But sometimes that's a mistake because I get engaged and forget.
Торпеды слева
The
по
British,
борту.
the long-acting Hydra is not something you need to optimize. You just pop it. You can pop every single one in cooldown, and you still wouldn't finish it by the end of the match.
gotcha. In any case, there's the Bismarck again. On fire. Again.
That fire chance is terrible, right?
Now
No,
look-
it's actually really good.
That was my bit of sarcasm for Zach.
Yeah, I caught that. Now, you notice you got pinged again. The sub is probably getting closer to you. The problem, of course, is there's the kid in the split div that you don't really want to be charging the sub and running into.
Listen to the voices.
So, JP's asking about scale, and what we're saying is if you go into here, go to display, right here, UI scale, you can change it there.
Huh. They don't go up to 200 now. I'm sad.
No, they don't.
They do go up to 200 if your resolution is is high enough. I can
Oh,
choose
okay.
200 for this.
Oh. So you're saying Sath needs a new PC?
I don't know.
Completely new PC.
What is your screen resolution?
1080p.
1080p. Yeah, I have 1440p. I can choose up to 200%.
Двигатель в штатном режиме.
I guess if you play in 4K, you can maybe even make it bigger. And I'm pretty sure there is a setting somewhere in.
Look at that! You got 3 fires on him with one hit. Amazing.
I only see one. Maybe someone else hit him at the same time.
Yes, the carrier hit him at the same time. That was a joke.
I didn't even see the carrier part.
But hey, Queen Elizabeth is now burning in all 4 places and is choosing not to do anything about it. Maybe it wasn't a carrier. Was it Nebraska? I think it was the Nebraska that bombed him.
Okay, so carrier.
Yeah.
Oh, AP on the broadside Queen Elizabeth.
I mean, you're not going to get another fire on him.
Yep. You also want to put him out of his misery. Who likes being on 4 fires these days?
I mean, or counterpoint, you let him burn and heal up all that damage just to burn him down again.
Наша команда получила преимущество.
That's your true PR farming there. Ooh, Edinburgh, run away.
Линкор врага потоплен.
It is.
Look at
So-
that rudder shift.
Right, I know. It's coming in handy here, isn't it? I will say, I like that you disengaged in the middle there. I had absolutely no reason to charge against a split and a kid, no matter how low one or both of them are. So, that was good. And now you're gonna smoke up and farm in Edinburgh at max range. I don't know how much you're gonna get out of
Установка
this.
дымов завершена. Наша команда
Yeah.
близко.
I would rather have you reposition, get closer.
Обнаружен эсминец противника.
Yeah, you could absolutely get closer and then start doing the farm thing, but
Yeah, past 10 kilometers, just really don't expect to hit much. Like, Edinburgh is technically just straight lining, but in my experience, just anything past 8 or 9 kilometers is almost not worth firing at.
Right. Now, if you wanted to practice dodging at long range, I completely get that. Open up on the Edinburgh, get him to shoot at you, and then practice dodging. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, Byron. Okay.
Wasn't Byron at like 2K when he left?
Yeah.
Yes. And did you notice he's very frustrated with these villagers? He just shot the village.
With HE nonetheless. Oh god.
Who
Minus,
uses AP on
By the way, C is being capped, and
Двигатель
it's
в
clearly the sub.
форсированном режиме.
So now would be a good time to start using your hydro again.
Yep.
Hey, look, the sub.
Destroy him.
Торпеды справа по борту.
I wonder why your
Торпеды
shells
прямо по
didn't actually
курсу.
deal damage that time.
Торпеды прямо по курсу.
Okay, good
Неполадки
dodge.
устранены.
Now charge him with your hydro on. There you go. There you go. And then once you get within 2 kilometers with your hydro on, it's assured detection, so congratulations. I would dump your first set of depth charges. There they go.
No, 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 no. Go directly for him.
Well, you're within 2, so
Команда близка к победе.
he's screwed now. He can't do anything about you.
Just try not to get on top of him because if the surface right on top of you, it's going to be an awkward ramp.
It's a ram, and if he's got ramming flag, that could be the end of it. No need
Yep.
to zoom in there, by the way. Stay zoomed out. It's a lot easier
Enemy
to shoot him.
submarine sunk.
Наша
You also could have torped him to show who the real torp boat is.
До конца боя
Assert your
положить
dominance.
5 минут.
Single fire torpedoes on him. Pling, pling, pling.
I would have just stayed behind him and dropped the death charges. U-69
Where's the fun
has
in
no
that?
torps in the back.
Yeah. Look, we're not only looking to win, we also must dominate the sub. We win in
Yep.
style.
You have to win in style. That's exactly
What
I
is
was
more
about to say.
dominating than throwing death charges on a submarine that's already on the surface?
And what I'm
Torpedo.
hearing is, here's all the ways you can kill them without using your guns.
Pretty much. 251 main battery hits, yes. Not bad.
Двигатель в
I would
штатном
actually go to
режиме.
C here, to be honest, but
Yeah,
Go,
at
I
the
mean,
time.
since you're
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's true. I just didn't care at this point. It was like, all right, we've won this game. I'm just going to see if anybody shows up.
I'd go straight to B.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
B is perfectly fine. Like if they go to C, then you just take B.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they and if they out, but I was thinking go to C, farm more damage.
I
Get
was,
this
I think,
info.
I think if I remember correctly, I was thinking I just want the cap, and if they
That's
come and
fine.
I can shoot at them, that's bonus.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, I'm trying to think through this replay. I can't think of too many things to comment on. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
No major mistakes.
I could tell you're much more comfortable in this ship than the Leningrad. I could absolutely see that.
It really boils down to what the battle plays up to be. The Cossack, I feel like I can play in any situation. The Leningrad, there are sometimes I get myself just absolutely deleted too early. So yeah, I think that's correct.
That's also why, partially just due to Cossack's strength. She's generally
Yeah.
considered one of the best tier 8 destroyers.
Right. I mean, when
It's
we
a-
talked
it's-
about
it's just an all-around ship.
we talked about your original use of engine boost there to get into the C cap. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing to mention is just having those consumables available when you know you're going to need them.
Yeah, I think in Cossack, and I don't think about it too much because I played the ship so much that it just kind of, I just play it. I think in Cossack, the consumables come up, and I've got the consumable, uh, CE on it. The consumables come up so fast that
Yeah.
I'm just not concerned about it.
Another dominant win. Look at that. So, let's go ahead and pull up your replay render. But I'm kind of curious what we should even consider calling this replay. Like, what kind of title can we put on it? I don't know.
As I said, I didn't see any major mistakes. And honestly, there wasn't that many things that threatened you. The few major threats just kind of ran to D side. So you just got to pick
Yeah,
up the
it
four.
could have been a different battle if the division had come to B or C. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah,
And I mean, fortunately, your biggest threats kind of found themselves a way to die, so they weren't a problem
yeah,
for you.
And the Farragut wasn't an issue because number one, he made bad choices, and number two was he didn't have anybody supporting him, so that was easy.
yep. And with no major threats, you can easily just run around wreaking havoc.
So I guess we could say you were a bully in that game, huh?
I suppose.
First you take M, then you take B. I mean, you did get a lot of fires, so that's kind of cool. Here's the part where you kind of poke the bear with the kid and the split, but you wisely disengaged.
Yeah, I really wanted the split, but once I saw that I didn't get him, I just left.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sub made it imperative to leave.
Yes, very smart. Okay. Here's your fight with the Queen Elizabeth. Hey, Wolf, how's it going? It's going? Same here, dude. Same here. All right. Gabe, we lost
Yeah,
Gabe.
thanks for the comments, guys. I'll go tinker with my builds, my range on the Leningrad, and my skills on the Cossack, and I'll mess with that a bit.
Sure.
Take all the 1 point and 2 point skills.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
always used to like when I made the mistake of playing a ship with no skills and coming out with a win. It was one of my proudest moments always,
oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you come in first place. You're like, I don't need no
Yeah.
skills. I got the skill, right?
So for me, the wrong skills often work. So
Sure. Yeah, nice battle. I mean, you demonstrated why the Cossack, especially at top tier, is a really difficult nut to crack.
again, thanks for the comments. Appreciate it.
No problem, sir. Thanks for the support, as always. Very much appreciate that. And looking forward to the next time we get to hang out at another event of sorts, whatever that is.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to sign off. I'm got to head out. So this timing was good.